Good day, my friends. It is Tuesday, May the 12th, and let's find out what happens to George Gerbil, our new animal. Say that with me, George Gerbil. Remember, gerbil reads j, j, just like a J, but sometimes it is G. All right. And you will need your word building pace. So, turn to page 11. Let's look at page 11. What do you see on page 11? What's this look like? A gerbil cage, doesn't it? The gerbil tunnel, the gerbil food, a gerbil bridge, George Gerbil. So open to page 11 and let's find out what happens to George Gerbil. Jump! 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 Little George Gerbil was jumping around in his orange and green gerbil cage. "I like our gerbil cage," said George Gerbil happily. "Our gerbil cage is like a tiny jungle gym." Gerbils need plenty of exercise, you know. Just then, George Gerbil's big sister, Ginger Gerbil, jumped out of the jungle gym inside the gerbil cage. "I like our cage too, George Gerbil," said Ginger Gerbil. "I like the two tunnels in our gerbil cage." "Oh, this must be Ginger, and this is the tunnel, isn't it? So that must be George. He's on this kind of jungle gym kind of thing, huh?" Tunnels, you know, are empty tubes, aren't they? George Gerbil asked Ginger Gerbil to take turns running across the little bridge. Later, George Gerbil waited patiently until Ginger Gerbil had a turn on the rolling wheel. Then George Gerbil jumped on the rolling wheel. George Gerbil made the rolling wheel go fast. George Gerbil's little legs were trying to catch up. His little back legs were trying to catch up to his front legs. George Gerbil's little nose was trying to catch up to the end of his long, thin tail. Round and round and round George Gerbil went. Ginger Gerbil called to George Gerbil, "George Gerbil, I'll race you to the bell. I think I will ring the bell before you get there." There was a little bell hanging on the cage at the top of the gerbil tunnels. George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil took off across the cage. George Gerbil dived into the green tunnel on the right, and Ginger Gerbil dived into the orange tunnel on the left. George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil scrambled. That means they ran. They scrambled through the two tunnels as fast as they could scramble. Jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle went the gerbil cage bell. Sure enough, George Gerbil's big sister Ginger Gerbil had reached the bell first. George Gerbil smiled at Ginger Gerbil. He didn't get mad, did he? He didn't pout, did he? He smiled. "That was a jolly race, Ginger Gerbil. You did a good job." Notice he didn't get mad at her. "You beat me." He said, "You did a good job, Ginger." Ginger Gerbil smiled at George Gerbil. "You are really a jolly good sport. You're someone who's fun to be with." "George Gerbil, maybe the next time you will ring the bell." Suddenly, George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil's little ears perked up. George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil heard another bell ringing. Mama Gerbil rang a little bell whenever she wanted her little gerbils to come to her. Jing, jing, jing. Look at page 12. See, Ginger and George and Mama Gerbil. And what is that in her hand? A bell. What's this? They're thinking about something. There's a question, isn't there? Did you see the green tunnel and the orange tunnel? All right. Look at page 12. Mama Gerbil called to her pudgy, not skinny, pudgy is another word for not skinny, a little fat, called to her pudgy little gerbils. It's learning time. Come and learn, little gerbils. George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil smiled at each other. They liked learning time. George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil scampered to Mama Gerbil's soft, furry side. George Gerbil snuggled on one side of Mama Gerbil. Ginger Gerbil snuggled on the other side of Mama Gerbil. Each morning, Mama Gerbil taught her little gerbils something new. Our mothers are our very first, very special teachers, aren't they? Mama Gerbil squeezed each of her pudgy little gerbils lovingly. Then Mama Gerbil said, "Little gerbils must learn to think." "Ask us a question, Mama Gerbil," said George Gerbil. "Make us think, Mama," said Ginger Gerbil. "Asking questions is a good way to learn," nodded Mama Gerbil. Mama Gerbil thought for a moment. Then with a smile, Mama Gerbil asked, "Which is larger, a gerbil or an ant?" "A gerbil is larger," exclaimed George Gerbil. "Right," said Ginger Gerbil. "A gerbil looks like a giant to a little ant." "Right," said Mama Gerbil. "Now, what will happen if you drop an egg on the floor?" "It will go smack crack," Ginger Gerbil said quickly. "Yuck," George Gerbil said, wrinkling up his funny nose. "You are both right," laughed Mama Gerbil. "Let's see. When you are asleep, are your eyes open or closed?" "Oh, Mama, they're closed," laughed George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil together. "I have another question," asked Mama Gerbil with a twinkle in her eye. "Which kind of sandwich would you like for lunch? Peanut butter or jelly?" "Both!" exclaimed George Gerbil. I will get the jar of peanut butter." "Yes, some of each," nodded Ginger Gerbil. "I will get the jar of jelly." Clink, clank, clunk. Mama Gerbil's knife went against the jelly jar. There was just enough jelly for 3 sandwiches. Then the jelly jar was empty. Mama Gerbil, George Gerbil, and Ginger Gerbil enjoyed a nice gerbil lunch. Then Mama Gerbil served each little gerbil some Jell-O too. "Pretty!" exclaimed Ginger Gerbil as Mama Gerbil placed a little bowl of Jell-O in front of her. "Cool!" exclaimed George Gerbil as Mama Gerbil placed a little bowl of Jell-O in front of him. Soon the Jell-O was all gone too. The Jell-O and the jelly were all used up. Mama Gerbil helped George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil wash off their sticky paws. Now, look at page 13. Turn to page 13. Oh, there's the green tunnel. Who's that? Mama Gerbil. Who's this? Ginger Gerbil, George Gerbil. You know how I know that's Ginger? She's taller. Ginger's the big sister, isn't she? All right, let's find out what happens next in our story. Before you go back to play again, I have one more question, Mama Gerbil said. Do you think we could do something to help needy families? Now, Mylan and Caden and Trey and Journey and Delise. Once in a while, a family may need some help. We sometimes call that family a needy family, right? Just like families are needing help with food right now so you can go to school and get some food. That's a need, isn't it? And when a family has a need, that's called a needy family. George Gerbil thought about Mama Gerbil's question. Ginger Gerbil thought about Mama Gerbil's question. Mama Gerbil thought about her question too. Just then, George Gerbil's eyes saw the empty jelly jar. I know, George Gerbil said joyfully. We could make jelly to give to needy families. We could call our jelly Gerbil Jelly. What a generous idea, said Mama Gerbil excitedly. I could teach you little gerbils to help me make some jelly. Making jelly is a jolly job. So George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil jumped up and down. Yes, yes, Mama Gerbil, they said. We will help you make jelly. We will help many needy families. We'll do a jolly job. So Mama Gerbil joined front paws with George Gerbil and Ginger Gerbil. The three rejoicing gerbils jumped around and round in a little circle. And as the gerbils jumped, they sang. We will make some jelly, some joyful gerbil jelly, 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 we all want some. Can you sing that with me? We will make some jelly, some blah, blah, blah. Let me try that again. We will make some jelly, some joyful gerbil jelly, 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 we all want some. We will make some jelly, some joyful gerbil jelly, 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 we all want some. Come back tomorrow to find out what happens with the joyful gerbil jelly. But stay tuned right now for the questions and our word-building vocabulary. See you back in a minute.